Once again, let us send our condolences to the Msibi family and all the sporting fraternity, because Oprah Pums, as I used to call him, was one of the most cherished and loved person within the broadcasting and the sporting fraternity. I think we have lost, an icon. We have lost someone who's very versatile, on his trade, because he was not only in boxing, he was commentating in horse racing, he was commentating in football. As you said that, with his, phrase that he's known, thought please, we will miss that. We when we have debuts, on football, we knew that, those intriguing questions, coming from him, when our champions are winning titles or losing, he had a way of asking and make, the ones that he was interviewing very, very much comfortable, a very humble man, focused, only doing what he's there for, in a particular venue. So we will miss Prapums. And as Boxing South Africa, we are sending our condolences to the entire Msibi family, as well as all the sporting fraternity.
Mandla, you not only knew him, but you knew him on a personal note. Just share with us, Prapums, as you call him, from, not the broadcaster, but the friend that you knew. What kind of a human being was he?
Look, as I said earlier on, a very humble person, someone who's focused, and, someone that you can rely on, on anything that, you needed. You will get an advice. And advice, that you will get, is an advice that will take you forward, and he won't be quoting any issues that, he's giving to you. So I believe that, we've lost someone, not only as a broadcaster, but someone really, who plays a role in many people's lives that have crossed the path, with him.
Mandla, a lot of us have known him from, television screens. You are one of the very few people who had an opportunity to know him, but also, be in touch with him in his last days as he started not feeling well. I mean, what sort of mood was he? As those of us who know him personally, we know that he's always one person who was always in high spirits, always ready to crack a joke here and there. What sort of spirit was he, as he started not feeling well?
I wouldn't lie, from my end, is that the last time we met, the last time we saw each other was at a tournament at Emperor's Palace. And, he was his normal self, cracking the jokes, I don't want to lie, in terms of me, not noticing that, there were some issues, because due to our busy schedules, I believe that, the last, sight I have of him, is Prapums that I know. And, we were shocked, that to saying that, the health is deteriorating, and it's something that for me, the last sight I have of him, it was on his normal self during behind the microphone during a boxing tournament.
Let's end with, from a boxing perspective, you and I, as purists, we know that very well. This is a man who respected and loved the sport, the noble art of pugilism, as it were. How do you think the sport itself particularly should remember and honor this icon?
Firstly, he did his research on any boxing event that he is commentating on. You would know that coming from different ethnic groups, there is no issue on him pronouncing the names and surnames of those boxers coming from abroad, within the continent, and within the country, knowing the history of that particular boxer, that is coming into the ring, he will give you a perspective, of that particular boxer, in the ring, and even give you further, a fight that boxer, have fought, not only the fight, that we see on TV. That is something that we will, miss with Prapums, because when you watch, the boxing and him commentating, it was like a seamless process, of which it means that that versatility, someone who's very much proud of what he does, because broadcasting is there to make sure that you showcase and give the viewers or the listeners, what is really happening, on that ring or on that field. So he was one of the best on his craft, and we will indeed, miss that. And I hope some of the young broadcasters that are coming up, they will learn and make sure that, we get, some people that will be able to follow through on what Brapums, was doing. That will be sorely missed by the entire sporting fraternity.
Mandla Ntlanganiso, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming through on a short notice to speak to us and pay tribute to a broadcasting giant in Phumlani Msibi, who sadly passed on yesterday after a short illness.